But then I had somebody knocking on the door, and I completely got thrown off from there. But I just ended up doing a whole bunch of things: cooking, eating, showering. And it came to me in the shower again, but then I forgot. I think it has something to do with, I'm not sure if it was being present. I really don't know. I think being able to enjoy. Yeah, I think being able to enjoy maybe the process of things. I guess that's something that I'm learning how to do. Relearning. There's times where you want to be, you're somewhere, but you want to be somewhere else. And then when you're there, you want to be somewhere else. And then somewhere else. And it's just about truly learning to embrace the season that you're in and where you're at. Because I think that I've always had a hard time doing that. Like, I enjoy the moments, I do. But I feel like life goes up and down. It's a bunch of circles around and around. And one of the things that people tend to do is live not in the present moment, they live like in another realm, in another tense, wanting to go for more. Especially me, especially like if you're somebody like that has goals, that has ambitions, or wants to achieve things, right? You're always going from achievement to achievement, from goal to goal, right? You hit 10,000, then you want to hit 15, and then 20, and then 30, 40, 50, and then 100, right? And you do these things, and it's not a bad thing, but I think it's one of those things where it's like you need to learn how to have the balance in each stage, in each step. I think more, not in each stage, I would say like in each step, like embrace it every single day and the moment, especially embracing the struggle. Like right now, that's what I'm learning how to do. Embrace the struggle, because I know here where I'm at is temporary. I'm like, it's not gonna be forever. By the grace of God, I hope it's not. Nah, I know it's not, but it's one of those things where I know I'm gonna look back at this, and I'm gonna be grateful and thankful that I went through this process in its entirety, even though it sucks, right? You gotta embrace the full feelings. That's another thing too. Embracing the feelings fully. When you go through things, feel them fully. So then you're not somewhere and then the feelings erupt again. A lot of people do that. They push down and suppress their thoughts and emotions. And that's what happens when you try to run from things and you just don't embrace it fully, the season that you're in. And honestly, that robs you from the present moment and your future, because as things move along, you're mentally and emotionally somewhere else, in the past, right? Or in the future. So it's important that you just focus on being present. God always wants us to be present. Honestly, we can't even experience God if we're not in the present moment. To be honest, if you think about it, like, you can't experience God. God is right now in the present moment. Like, He's here. Holy Spirit's here. You can't experience God thinking about the past. You cannot experience God thinking about the future, because it's anxiety. Thinking about the past, that's just garbage. Most of the times it's reminiscing. It's not really, most of the times it's not even happy thoughts most of the times. Majority of the times it's just like something sad that happened, something that you miss, a time, a memory, and you can be sad because you miss those things. But you know how it says, forget the former things, I am doing a new thing. You want to be able to experience God right here, right now, in the present moment. You don't necessarily want to be somewhere else, because I think it just robs you from life, from things. And I'm just repeating, rambling on, so I'm going to cut it short. And no, I want to say, just always leave nothing in the tank. Feel fully, embrace fully, give it fully, so you have no regrets. I don't ever regret anything. I feel like truly, honestly, the only thing people regret in life is not trying, like not doing more when they could have done more. I feel like if you give something like your best, truly, like your best, you will never have regrets. That's what I feel like. I feel like that's the truth that I live. I feel like I've done that. I feel like when you give something truly like your all, you're like 110%, when you leave nothing on the table, and something still doesn't go your way, or things don't pan out how you want it to, I feel like you're never gonna regret any of that, like anything of it. You just gotta go. I feel like that's something that I'm learning more too, because I would always set up boundaries, like protective boundaries, but in a lot of things, I don't know. I would say there's certain things that you cannot mix. Maybe like relationships, you gotta take that slow a little bit, but you can go balls to the wall with everything else. So I would say any opportunity, just give it gas all the way. Anything for yourself, focus fully, be present in the moment, embrace the season that you're in, do everything full force with love. Don't half-ass anything. There's no benefit to being one half in, half out. There's really no benefit, right? Like it's either, even God says it's either you're all in or you're all out. So that's how you should live your life, honestly, because we're meant to live life fully, not average, not on cruise control. Like no, either you're all in or you're all out, and that's when you get really like the best experience of everything. And we're meant to experience life fully. That means you take the good and you take the bad, because it's all an experience. So if you're suffering right now, understand that it's temporary. Embrace the season that you're in, because it's not gonna be forever. And one day you look back and you'll be thankful and grateful for the lessons that you learned. That's another thing too. When you're just not present in the moment and you're waiting to get out, like you want to get out so bad. We don't take the time to reflect either. A lot of people they rush out of a season, and they eventually they go back into the same season because they didn't take the time to reflect and learn the lessons and gain the wisdom that God wanted them to learn in that season. You got to stop and ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What can I pull from this? What can I gain? Because nothing is a loss. Everything is a gain in this world. It doesn't feel that way, right? But even pain and suffering is gain. Like, you want to be able to look at things and you want to be able to look at things and always extract something positive out of it. God doesn't waste a season. That's something I've heard, and that's something that I've learned too. God doesn't waste anything, any pain, any tears, any season. He uses all things for our good. So again, he can do his part to the best of his ability, and he's always gonna do it. But he cannot do your part for you. So you gotta do your part to the best of your ability as well. When it comes to God, what is it that you want me to learn? What is the wisdom that you're giving me, right? Because we go through the wilderness season, and sometimes it can be something that you caused, or it can be that the Holy Spirit leads you there, right? Just like Jesus was led into the wilderness. He was being prepared for the next season that he was walking into. God cannot give you something, blessings, or he cannot give you certain things without you walking into certain seasons, even the seasons that you truly don't want to walk into, right? It's the valleys. It is the valleys. The mountaintops, everybody wants to be there. But it's in the valleys, in the wilderness, where you learn and you grow. Even if you don't feel like it, when you feel like, okay, you're falling back, you're being stripped away from things, that is when you grow. The most growth happens in the pain, in the failures, in the most difficult process. When things are challenging and they're difficult, that is when you're growing the most. When things are hard. You don't grow when things are easy. You grow when things are hard. You're in the gym, you grow when the weight gets heavier and it tears you apart. Same thing in your spirit. When things happen in your life and it tears you apart, God says, I will remove your heart of stone and give you a new heart of flesh. How does he do that? You gotta break something, right? In order for you to be able to you gotta break stone in order to replace it. Otherwise it's hard. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. God needs to break you down to build you back up. But if you're so rigid, where it's like you're not moldable. God doesn't work with that. So he has to do things in your life to break you down to be able to build you back up. Break the old wineskin to make a better wineskin and pour new wine into it. You got to empty you out first. You got to empty yourself out first, and then pour more of God into yourself and pour new experiences, new wisdom, new experiences and knowledge. So that's pretty much it. That's something that I am learning that's been on my mind. Be more present Enjoy the season that you're in, because you won't pass it again. You may pass similar seasons, but you're never gonna pass the exact season that you're in again and again. It's like God will continue to give you the tests if you continue to fail. So get it right the first time. Seek wisdom. Seek guidance. Sit down and reflect. Don't try to squirm your way out of it. It's uncomfortable, but you grow when you're uncomfortable. You grow when it's painful. You grow when it's basically when it's necessary. This is necessary. All seasons are necessary, especially the ones where you feel like, again, it's the most difficult and challenging ones. That is where you're growing the most. That is where God gets the most glory. And it's beautiful at the end. It's not beautiful in the moment. It's not. I've passed through things, difficulties, where I look back and I can actually laugh. Like, it's funny. In the moment, it's not funny. And there's been seasons in my life where I'm like, I look back and I'm like, yo, I actually wish I would have passed through that season sooner, or like that bad thing at the time would have happened to me sooner, because I would have got to where I'm at now even sooner. You know what I'm saying? And I know this is going to be one of those same things. I wish I would have. I'm going to look back at this and I'm going to be grateful and thank God, because God has been sustaining me throughout the whole way, naturally and supernaturally. A couple things have happened where I'm like, I know God is with me. I've had experiences personally and in church where it's just blessed me, and I've actually gotten to see a different side of God, and I've seen him show up differently in this season than I have in previous seasons. And that's what it is too. God will show up in different seasons, not necessarily every single time, but in a season he may show up as a provider, as a healer, comforter, peace. Like, he shows up in different ways. But I'll leave it at that, all right? So I'll catch you guys tomorrow.